Hey guys and gals, let's take a look at the 2004 Advent Calendar by Lego Disney. This is set number 43253. This set was provided by the Lego Group for the reviews, so thank you Lego for sending this to me. And yeah, I haven't opened this up yet because from what I remember from the last one, opening up is part of the building process. That's essentially what it is. It looks like we got ourselves a little game board inside. So if I can remember correctly, there's a flap that opens up. So I think it's this right here. And it just so happens I lost my box cutter. So guess what we're going to have to do? And yeah, I have been swamped with, well, not really swamped with work-related stuff, but I just started working on the Michael Myers building guide, and it just so happens right when I started doing the parts list, this comes in the mail. So yeah, I wasn't too thrilled, and I got stuff just rolling on me right now. I got so much stuff in here right now that's related to Lego, and yeah, okay. I'll probably have to back the camera up. I know some have still said I'm not a good filmographer. Well, send me the cash and I'll go to school and I'll learn how to do it better. Yeah, I sound like I do a lot of rants and complaining on here, but you know, some say, well, you got to practice. Well, it's hard when you got a full-time day job and you're supporting a family. You just don't have, I don't have spare time like I used to anymore. And here we are. We got ourselves a simple little game board here. Oh, well, that collapsed, huh? We weren't ready for that. And that's essentially what this is. And there is some minifigures on the top. So let's give this a whirl here. Moana, Pua, Ariel, Tiana, Mirabel. I think that's Sven, Elsa, and Snowgie. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to build this all in one sitting. Why are we doing that? Because it's on a deadline. I can't build this whenever I want, so, go figure. So now we got to look for door number 1, which is right here. So we're going to start with door number 1. Okay, and I got to remember a couple of things. You get a little bag of parts, and the instructions are right here on the back of the door. So this time, Jay has grown a brain, and now he knows. Hey, at least here I can be more informal. Let me plug in the light here for you so you can see a little bit better here. And these are just meant to get done real quick. And there we go. Get that right there. So what I'm going to propose to do is I'm going to fold this behind here like this. And I think what I'm going to do, well, I don't want to bend the game board. I may have to, or just do that. And let's get a little closer here. Yeah. But I've been so busy trying to do, my own stuff. I can't even get to my own builds anymore. I had just finished up, matter of fact, what I'm doing now is I'm still releasing the summer batch of sets. Now this is supposed to be winter time. Now we're going to open up bag 1. And let's see here. This looks like we got ourselves a minifigure, obviously. A mini doll, my bad. I don't want to offend anybody. Oh, I thought they were full-size dolls, but they're not. They're little kitty dolls. In fact, I can't wait to get a haircut. I got hair falling in my face right now. That's how behind I am. It's been so hot. It's been in the 110s, 120s out here right now. And yeah, and I've been trying to hide in the house. And this is Moana. Okay, so we'll index it just for that purpose. She's just rolling around, and that's it for that one. With one piece to spare. Oh, she just wants to roll around. I don't think she's meant to stand up. Or is there something wrong with her? Well, you get the drift. Now we're going to open up door number 2, and I'm just going to punch that in like that. Oh, that's when we know where 16's at. And there it is. All right. Okay. You know what? Could I just do this? There it is. That's what we're going to be building. Some plant thing. Sorry, guys. I don't want to have to keep moving the camera. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. And yeah, for somebody who complained about my tutorials, this guy kind of got mad because I'm going to make my tutorials on a paid thing. You know, I got tired of people complaining, so I'm going to put more effort into the tutorials on a paid. So you have to pay $2 a month to watch them. You know, that's just how it is. Okay. All right, so you got to look on the back of the door here, and these are not really descriptive type of building guides. You're just going to have to guess, or you can just download it if you want. But what fun would that be? And the whole intent of these is to, you know, you could build with your friends. You could take your time. I'm already getting, boy, these things are just opening up. Okay. How do I propose to do this here? I don't have any, well, yeah, I do. Let's set this over here. Technical difficulties. Hey, you gotta love my reviews. I don't script or filter. This is a lot better here. Now I can do this and we don't have to worry about that, and I can push this box back. You just have to take my word for it because I don't want to have to keep moving things around here. Okay. My hands are tired too. I've been painting around the house, and that's been not so fun. Some kind of slug thing. What does that have to do with Christmas? Where's the white poop piece at? Did I miss that? Oh, there it is. Oh, we get 2 of them. They must use it as a snail. I guess somewhere, like in Australia, Christmas falls in the summertime. So I guess that's what that's for. This wouldn't be a bad little micro building. Yes, my hands are in the way. Yeah, I do sound a little angry today. I know some people point that out. And you know, when you worked, let's see, this week I worked close to 70 hours. Some of it in the heat. So yeah, I'm not really myself. And it looks like that's it. You know, I wonder if I can build it right back here. And just tip the camera up like this. No. Maybe if I raise this up a bit more. I'm just trying to find ways to make it work without having to spend 20 minutes. I know some have said, well, why don't you just edit all those parts out? And you know, I don't want to be stuck. I mean, I work in front of a computer for 60, 70 hours a week. I don't want to be doing more of it. It's not too much fun. I want to build. I don't want to just... What am I doing right now? I'm sitting in front of the camera. And that's what we have remaining for door number 2. And that's essentially what it is. I don't know. I have no clue. Now we're going to find door number 3, which is right up here. Well, I guess this works, huh? And it looks like we get to make, what's her name? Ariel. Okay. Alright, push those in so we'll know which ones we've done. Had spaghetti for dinner tonight, and boy, the garlic. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's see here. So they're not quite mini dolls, but you get at least the head. They're more like children dolls than anything else. But they don't stand up very well. you'll have to put them on some kind of a base plate. And we're not done with 3 yet, so it's just a present. Yeah, I had somebody call me a very vulgar name because my hands were in the way. And that person had fell to the demise of the block list. That's what we have remaining for door number 3, and I'm like, really? And so yeah, that's what it is so far. Not too bad. And then now I'm not going to group all this together. I don't know how I'm going to display all this. Okay, now we got to find 4. Oh, there it is, right here. I mean, this is not too bad, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to just be blunt. I'm not really into advent calendars. To me, they're just, they're overpriced parts. And for the most part, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, you get some nice small builds, but, you know, I was hoping to not see a set like this. When I was told I was going to get some seasonal stuff, I thought, cool, what are we going to be building? And until I saw that it was a bunch of advent calendars, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have to get that done first. Now, if you want the building guide, you'll have to download that yourself. I mean, there's some useful pieces out of here. Don't get me wrong, it's got some nice parts, but yeah, so right now, today is the 13th of July, 2024, and I got nailed with jury duty. My goodness, I got out of that real quick. Thank goodness for taking care of my parents, well, parent, but I thought, well, I'm not going to get into that. It'd be a whole other rant, and that's what we have remaining for door number 4. And it looks like we have ourselves some kind of like an underwater castle. Let me turn that brightness down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And we'll do 5, which is right here. And it looks like it's the dice, or the die, or the top thing, we don't know. And I just started on the amphitheater. I got the terrain backed up into stud. And when I got notified like there's going to be a package in the mail, I thought, cool, you know, and yeah, this is the thing that we're doing here. You know, I have a feeling a few of you are going to be watching this video in terms of trying how to build this. So I'm going to try to show all the steps. My hands are kind of sore. I've been painting on the house. It's not been fun. And in addition, you have somebody complaining all the time about things. And I mentioned, you know, guys, let's get out of the house. Let's go do something. And all I heard was drama. That was a lot of drama. And I thought, well, okay. So I don't know. I mean, I guess you're supposed to put it like this and just spin it like a top. And it does that. Well, if I can grab a hold of it. You know, it would have been easier. It's just a dice and you do that. But yeah, it's kind of not too user-friendly. Now we're going to move on to door 6. And I found the 24th. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, we're going to do this whole thing. And, oh, okay. At least we get some accessory parts in here. I see a top hat. I think that's what that is. Yeah. Okay, so so there's a top hat. I'm assuming it goes on the pig or whatever this is. Whatever it is, we don't care. Huh? We just want to get it out of the way so we can get back to the fun stuff. I guess you're supposed to put that on. It shows that it's not on him, but I put it on him. And then we make a present here. And if you do not like small pieces, I'm going to tell you right now, especially if you've been working with your hands all day, this is not fun at all. But that's essentially what we have there for door 6. I mean, not too bad. Okay, now we're going to move on to door number 7. Right there in the corner. Now this thing here is starting to tear. This is not meant to be reused by any means. I'm sure you probably could if you're careful. It's by all means not a modular, but you know, we can have some fun with it here. And we're going to be building, it looks like some kind of raft thing. I don't know what this is, to be honest, Lego. What are you... Well, let's just start building and see what we're building here. Still have not replaced that faulty light. Alright. Yeah, but for the person who was cussing me out and stuff, saying that I have fat hands, they can't see what I'm doing. These videos are just merely my notes. You know, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that kind of thing. These are just meant for me to just find out what I got to get done when I do the review. Well, that's a nice little, I think it's supposed to be a sailboat. So the fun stuff right now is postponed because I got a bunch of set reviews. It's just a bunch of stuff right now that I have to get done. And yeah, okay. That goes there. That's one of those rafts with the little support thing on the side so it doesn't tip over. That's what it is right there. And not too bad, and that's what we have remaining. And now, let's see what's behind door number 8. Yeah, I think when I film this, I'm going to go ahead and kind of, show the accessories. I might just put them on here and just do a 360 spin. And it looks like it's some wig thing with a box. Honestly, this doesn't even, I don't see anything that's related to Christmas in this, to be honest with you. And I'm going to be pretty blunt with you. I'm kind of, I'm getting kind of bored. This is not too fun. It looked cool on the box, but I can always use the wigs. That's not a bad way to do like a mannequin head right there. Okay. And then we have party hat. You get a fork, you get 2 forks, and this crystal here. And it goes in that little box there. That's what we have remaining because it only asks for 1 fork, but you know I can always use extra forks for my collection. And yeah, so that wraps that door up. Now we got to find door number 9, which is right here. Okay. Yeah, so far I'm kind of, this is not really appealing to me. This is, it's just not my thing. I'm sure for a little one, this is going to be fun, but for an adult, I'm spending more time opening up the bags than I'm actually building. So this one here, we have Elsa. It used to make the friend stall wigs rubber. Is this one rubber? I guess it is. Alright. Oh, she stands up. That's unusual. There you go. And that's what we have remaining. And this is what it is. She comes with a gift. The gift of what, huh? Okay. And now we do door number 10. I'm hoping I'm not missing any doors, but you know. Right, it's up at the top. You just have to take my word for it here. And it looks like we're building... I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. And here is a little sneak peek. Out of all the sets I'm getting, I think there's 5 coming in. 4 of them are stuff that I don't want to do. Yeah. Why did you accept them? I don't know. Remind me why, and I'll tell you. The bad thing about these, you really can't see the steps. I think this might be more of an instruction video than anything else. So, kind of goes like that. I think it's a seesaw or a teeter-totter. I think that's exactly what it is. I can always use those, especially in white. Make a good little lampshade. Alright, so this is Snowgie. And then he goes on the teeter-totter like that, so you can do this and have fun with them, and you get some boring Technic pin with that. Alright. Now we got to find door 11. Oh, it's right there. Right there. Let's see what we're building now. This is actually supposed to be day 11, so I got to start doing that. And it looks like some kind of ice thing. I see some interesting parts in here. These are pretty cool. Oh, it's that opaque type thing. And spears, or whatever they're called. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Very long work week. You would not imagine how busy I was. And I'm still busy too. I got this assignment that I got to get going, and it's a big whopper. And I have to finish up. The best thing is to stick these in first, and I'm just going to place them down. You can get those in yellow. They make good lights for hallways or something if you're making a hall for your Hogwarts castle or something. Yeah, I could be doing 101 things right now. And I saw this, I thought, oh no, I gotta have to do it. And I forgot to put this on the back here. And then your nose cone goes back here. Let me take the shield off. It's supposed to look like this. And then this goes on the top. The transparent pieces are cool because I could use those for other builds. Yeah, I still got paint flakes on my hands. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is there. It's some kind of underwater entrance or something. And these are kind of just kind of goofy builds here. I'm going to try to get them done as quickly as possible. And then now we're going to do door 12. Okay, and that is some kind of, maybe a reindeer, I don't know. Well, yeah, obviously it's, well, let's get it out of the bag and we'll take a look here. There's only just 2 parts? Well, that's a lame leg. I was expecting 1,000 in there. And that's essentially what this is. Maybe it's a sheep. No, it's a reindeer. And you put that in the back right there to make it whole. Yeah, I mean, it's an adorable animal figure. Kind of cartoonish, but there you go. And yeah, nothing remaining there. And now we are going to look at door 13. Alright. And then we're building a sleigh now. And it's not your typical red sleigh. You can obviously tell by the colors. I'm going to tip this down a bit more. There we go. In fact, what I should do is more focus on the build. Let's see if we can zoom in here. I've learned when I use the zoom on this camera, here's what I'm going to do here, is I always hit the focus button again and refocus. My professional camera's like that too. It can do it automatic, but you know. Okay, it goes like this. Like that. But I'm hoping to get done with at least in terms of tutorials. I have a couple of tutorials that I want to start, but these won't be until next year. If you're on Patreon or Rebrickable, you'll see them soon enough. So they use some hockey sticks for the sleigh. Boy, this is kind of flimsy. I mean, it looks good. This would be good for a city build, maybe for a minifigure. Just change that out. Put one of those 1x2 plates with the 2 studs. Won't be too bad. And that's for door number 13. And let's do 14. That one's already open because I hit it. And we are building some kind of, I guess it's a fireplace? We don't know yet. I can't tell. You got me. I don't even, yeah, it's obviously a fireplace. We see the flames. Alrighty, let's see here. How do we build this? If you're building along, cool. Well, maybe it's a candle thing. I don't know. I don't know, it's just weird. And we get a lime green frog. Can use that for something, maybe for the pet store. Ooh, some spring green nose cones. Well, those will come in handy for something cool. And then we have the mantle. I think the easiest way to put this together is by putting the jumper plates on top and the accessories. Oh, you get 2 sprinkle cookies. Cool. And 2 teacups. So I guess you eat your milk and cookies on top of the fireplace. Yeah, that's how they do it, I guess. But let's That's what it is. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's a bit on the small side, and that's what we have remaining for door number 14. All right, now we're going to move on to 15. Right there. Well, you can't see it, but now somebody had suggested, why don't I just have two cameras running? Because I have, I do have two cameras, but to sync all that up while editing, yeah, I think we're going to be focusing on the build. Okay. And we are building Tiana. If I'm pronouncing her name. Yeah, Tiana. Tiana sounds better. Obviously found her wig, her weave. Alrighty. And then we have the wig. Well, that doesn't do any good when it's backwards. I'm trying to get it all. Oh, that's really funny. I can't even get it straight out. Get that in there. My hands are kind of shot today, and I can't even get the head out of here at all. I mean, I can't even get it to turn. It's stuck in this wig here. Do I have anything? There's no brick separator, but I'm going to have to grab one here. Yep, I had to use a brick separator to break that loose. Got to drop the score down a little bit because there actually is no tool provided with this at all. So we're going to put the head on her first. Make sure the head's on right. And then we're going to put the wig on. Now I can't get the wig on. Oh, there we go. So there's a Tiana right there. And a gift. And these gifts in here, they would be really good if you have a brick-built Christmas tree. And just put them with your regular minifigures or mini dolls, No one will know. And that's what we have remaining there. And so far, that's what we have. We'll set everything up here in a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move to door number, which one we do, 15? Okay, we're going to find 16. And it's right here. All right. Oh, this one's got a lot of parts. What are we building here? Some kind of another entry point. I'm going to be quite honest. This is kind of more like a time waster than anything. A time waster build. Sometimes Lego doesn't like me being honest and blunt, or some of my fans don't like it either. But I'm going to be honest. If I'm bored, I'm sure I'm a full-grown adult. I'm going to guess that some child will probably have fun. I can't even see that from there. Okay, so we got the profile bricks and the studs and stuff. My table's facing this way, so it's kind of impractical here. And yes, you get spring green profile bricks. I mean, be good for making like a really retro vintage style house. So you get enough of them maybe. And we got white stud flowers. Yeah, but if you could tell the pain in my voice, yes, doesn't. I just want to get it done at this point. So I mean, it's not going to affect the score. I'm really looking at, is it playable? If this is a game board, it's going to be a playable set at the end. It's obviously, you get some stuff in it that's scaled for mini dolls, but not a whole lot. But for an adult, I'm really losing interest in it. Well, Jay, do you have to build it? Yes, I do. I have to build it. It has to be built. I can't bail on this one here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing something wrong. I'm not supposed to put that there just yet. It's supposed to go... Well, no, we're still not done with it yet. Yeah, my hands are kind of shot today, but... I got a hair appointment next week I got to take care of. I just want to get this mop cut off. I got to get that done. I got to go to the dentist in a few weeks. And okay. Yeah, but you can download the building guides for these. We've seen this piece a few times, but not in warm gold. And that's essentially what we just built. Some kind of little micro build of an entry door or something, an archway. Yeah, that's what we have remaining. And now let's see here. We just got done with 16. I'm looking for one. Oh, here it is. What do we build now? Huh? If I can get it out of there. Oh, Christmas tree. About time we get to something that's wintry. All I've been seeing is stuff that's kind of, you know, not really even related to the holidays. Alright, let's see here. We got the tree. You know what would be easier? Where's my iPad? Let's go do the building guides. My eyes are getting tired. It's 12:30 in the morning, and let's see here. We're sorry we couldn't find what you're searching for building instructions. Wow, Lego, you say that they're there, but they're not? Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to interpret. So what I'm gathering is you stick these on the bottom. Like that. Yeah, so kind of looking at stuff to go to the beach and just kind of see what's going on. Hotel rooms are like $400 a night. Kind of pricey, but I was telling my bunch, like, hey, you guys want to just get out of the house. It's just too hot here. It's hot. When you go outside barefoot and you're walking on concrete, yeah, you can get burned real quick. Matter of fact, we got a bunch of containers here full of candles, you know, like the wax. So we've been putting them out in the sun just to heat the wax out of them. And then they use this for the star. That's essentially what we just built. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if you could decorate, that'd be really cool. And that's what we have remaining there. And so far, yeah, it's kind of just want to get it done. Okay, we haven't got one full row done yet. Let's do 18. one's got some parts in it. And it's another little door, like an archway. Should have just called this the arches. But I think we're building the game that goes with this. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You get done, you get to play the game. There is some nice little pieces out of this, but for me, it's just... some of these parts are really good for building interior stuff. You get some profile bricks. Not enough to choke on, but it's there. Oh, a magenta leaf piece. You know what? Speaking of magenta, there was I remember back in junior high, I took an art teacher. And that was one of the colors we had to paint with. It was like a bluish green and we had magenta. And what we did was we would take these linoleum tiles and you would carve it. It was like stamping. And you would have to paint the ink or something on it, and you would stamp it. I could never get that for the life of me to ever work. But she was an art teacher that I had that it would not matter how bad of an artist you were. If you tried, you got an A in the course. And it was all about just try to apply the method she would teach you. And that's what it was. I was thinking about her the other day, and I thought she was one of the few that inspired me to become an artist until I went into college, and then that one other, if you want to call it an instructor, ruined it for me, and that's what we have remaining. And I thought, well, I don't know, and that's what we have remaining for that door. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but now we're looking for day 19. Right here. And some kind of candle thing, like a table. Maybe it's a cake, we don't know. I got to see what it looks like in person. But I remember she was a complete different, you know, when you take art in high school, I remember even drawing. I remember my art teacher wanted to put my stuff in a contest. He said, man, these are pretty good drawings. I found my old paintings that I did. I should post those and just kind of talk about them. And I thought, man, you know, I mean, I just remember when it was like fall, we could do things. I remember we used to do perspective drawing. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember. Where 2-point perspective, where you had the 2 points like right here, and you had to draw it like this, like a corner of something, and you had 3 different points at one time, and I still remember that was a really fun class to do. Ceramics was a nightmare. I'm glad I'm done with that. You know, ceramics class, yeah, I failed that one, but art and drawing and all that stuff was a piece of cake. You know, that's what we have remaining there. And I remember those were like classes. They were fun to take in the fall, winter time. Looks like it's just some kind of a wreath. All right, now we got to look for door number 20. There it is, right down here. And yeah, I remember those days. And life was so simple back then, not like it is today. And let's identify the torso. We are building Mirabel. So that's what we're putting together next. I'm not a fan of these mini dolls. You know, I mean, that's kind of cute, but not my style of build. I'm trying to hold the yawn set. But for the most part, though, that's what I remembered. I remember back in grade school. Some of you will probably know how old I really am, though. That's why I'm remaining. They used to show Halloween and Christmas things on a slide projector, and you would play the cassette. They used to have Halloween and Christmas stuff, and you would just have to sit there and read across it, and when you heard the tone, the teacher would advance to the next slide. And yeah, I remember those. I've been trying to find and see if anybody's ever ripped that and put it onto YouTube, but I don't know. These slides were kind of primitive, and we're now working on door 21. But the slides were so primitive, that's what it was. It obviously had to have been in the 70s at least, because, you know, the cassette, they didn't have 8 tracks. Well, they probably did, but I don't think for that purpose. But for the most part, I was like, I want to try to find those and just, you know, I have an old slide projector in working conditions. I thought if I can get the slides and the tape, just kind of play around with it. I'd go back to my old elementary school, but I'm sure now they got rid of that old technology like they usually do. So it looks like we just built a portion of a castle. Not too fun. Alright, so now we're going to move on to door number 22. Yeah, so I remembered a lot of that stuff, and I also remember during close to Christmas time, the teacher didn't want to do any more work. So, another archway. Man. Just call this, instead of the event calendar, why don't you call it the arch calendar? Anybody remembers the old bulky CRT television on a wheeled cart with the VCR? You knew it was going to be a good day. You know. And yeah, I was like, when you saw that TV wheel into the classroom, you knew you were in for the count. You know, that kind of thing. Alright, well, one of these goes here. So it must go to that other castle piece. But I kind of miss those days, you know, just kind of, you get to sit there and talk to your friends while the movie's playing. Nobody was really ever watching it. I remember that even back in high school. The teacher would wheel the cart in with the TV. You're like, oh yes. Except if you had literature class and you had to take notes. And you know what? I never understood why they always used to have us take notes when we're watching a movie. It's like, well, I don't take notes when I'm watching a movie at home. But, oh, there's 2 arches. Okay, we got a problem here. Let me take a look. Or am I putting that on wrong? I'm being silly here. I'm not even putting that on right. Okay. And I never knew how important it was until I got into college. Because you're not watching a movie, you have to listen to the professor and take notes. Even with a tape recorder, I would walk in there with my little pocket recorder and just record the lecture notes, and then I'd come back and key it up. Like if it was something important, I would tap on the microphone. And That's what I did back in the day. And, oh, there's a clock face on that, huh? Oh, so this is another clock. I'm getting a lot of these little 1x1 clock pieces. They're really cool, and that's what we have remaining there. And those clock pieces will come in handy. Not too bad. Okay, now we're going to move on to door 23. So I think the review on this is going to be very quick. We're building another portion of that castle, so I guess we're going to put some of this together. But I was remembering that some of this stuff that we used to do during the fall and winter months in school, and I thought, I miss those days dearly. It's, you know, if I knew how bad everything was going to be now in terms of work, well, that fell apart. In terms of work, yeah, I want to go be a kid again. Anybody has been watching Me TV Tunes? I've been kind of watching that lately. Watching the cartoons that I kind of grew up with. It's like, oh, this is cool. That's what we have there. I like the dark zircones. I don't think I have them in that color. And now we are going to be moving to the last door, which is the door 24, the 24th of December. Santa Claus night. Alright. And why did I push that all the way in? It's another arch. Yeah, I'm gonna say the retention on this set is kind of lacking for an adult. It's still going to get a decent score. I'm saying a 9.5 so far. Nothing scratched or damaged. Just a lot of parts. No brick separator. And that's probably the only reason I'm dinging off of it for this point. Now, even though if I'm not really interested in the build, I'm not going to fail it. You know, that's just kind of wrong. That's my own personal opinion there. You know, everybody builds differently and stuff, and okay, let's see how this together. And for me personally, if you're interested in this, that's cool. If you're like me and you're not really a fan of micro builds, especially this, it's going to be not so a pleasant build here. Oh, they're in the front. I thought maybe they were missing a part here. Forgive me, I'm getting tired. I really want to get back into building my own stuff. But that's what I remember, though. I just remember the holidays being like that, and it's like now, I don't even think even the teachers that I knew in school are even still around. Where does this go? Oh, I see. It's barely there. You got to stick this right on the top here in the middle. It's like, where does that go? And then this goes on the top. But yeah, I do miss the fact of being a kid, not have to work. You know, when you're in school and if you're watching this and you're under 18 and you think, oh, my professors give me deadlines. Oh, it's worse when you work, especially if you run your own business. It's not what you think, and I don't want to have to lose that. I can always use stud flowers for the campground. And that's what you build for the 24th of December. Yeah, okay. And all the doors have been opened up. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is set it up here, where we'll get a better view of this here. And I got a bunch of plastic bags to clean off the floor now. So we're going to get this going here, and then let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to set it up, and then I'm just going to do the review and everything too. So what I'm gathering is you're supposed to set this stuff up. I don't know, probably put it here. I don't know how I'm going to do this stuff here. I think this is supposed to be a part of a complete castle. First you got to find the 20 million arches here. I feel like this is Mr. Rogers' neighborhood of make-believe. And I'm kind of just not in the mood to work on this tonight. So this is essentially what we're doing here. It's supposed to be like that, I don't know. And stick a bunch of arches in here, and matter of fact, there's more. I mean, like, where does this go? Does it go on the beach here where it's snowing? You know, and this, just put that there, just throw them somewhere. You know, put the tree right here. This probably goes right here, I guess. And yeah, it's put the reindeer. We'll put him right here next to the arch. Another arch. Yeah, if you're guys and gals, let me know in the comments how bad this is. I'm sure for a little girl, this is probably going to be a winner. I mean, seriously, this is probably going to keep a little gal entertained here. You know, I mean, that's fine. You know, but for a full-grown adult, it's kind of just weird. I may just do, when I do this, I may just go ahead and do a close-up of everything. This is the top that's supposed to spin. We never got this thing to work right. I mean, it's just kind of just all over the place. The dolls don't stand up like easily. How many gifts do we get in here? Just like 4 so far? I'm just sorting. I'm setting it all up now. They don't stand up on their own. So what we'll do, I think I'll start the video with the close-up shot, and then I'll tack the review on at the end. I don't even know what that is. Put that on the dark rock there. On the goth rock. So we have 4 mini dolls. Get 5 presents. You could also use this as a playable figure, or the reindeer, or anything that's got a name. Here's the sleigh. And you got the die. And that's essentially what this is. Let me pull this thing up right now here. And I think what I'm going to do for the review, we're going to talk about it like this. I mean, I think that's from the best interest. And then when I do the whatchamacallit, yes, I know my videography is not the best. I'm already aware of it. I think it's just meant for kids. This is not meant for adults. And I'll save my opinions for the review. You already know what they are anyways. Alright. And let's push these gifts closer here. You get a couple of gifts. You get 5 gifts. That would work good under a minifigure type Christmas tree. Let's see here. See, they don't stand up very well. Well, she does. See, does she stand on the plate? Well, I guess she does. Well, let's try the rest of them. Does she stand up very well? So I guess you got to be very patient. They're kind of top heavy. What I'll do is when I do the tour, there goes the fireworks again. They've been letting off fireworks out here so much. And there's a couple of houses that caught on fire. And they won't ban the fireworks out here, but they'll let people lose their homes. I don't understand it. A whole rant for another day. And there we go. So that's essentially what it is. And, well, everything's set up. Let's do the review and I'll tell you how I really feel. Let's start with build quality, and it's an average built set. I didn't have nothing fall off, but a lot of the stuff is micro builds, so it's hard to line up some of these 1x1 bricks and plates. Some things just don't line up. You're just going to have to readjust and wiggle and jiggle stuff in. Build experience for me personally was just kind of lacking. And now I'm sure for a younger builder this is going to be a fun set. But as an adult, I'm going to be honest, I was starting to get bored with it. It looked fun on the box, but now it's not really up to speed with me. I mostly like to build bigger things, and this is just not cutting it for me. Play value, despite of this being mostly micro builds and arches and stuff, well, you do get the die or the top. I still have yet to get this thing to work. And for the most part, you can put your figures on here. Start right here, and then you can just have them, you roll the die and you can just jump to the next color and that kind of thing. So it is a playable model. I'm not sure the point, I guess, to see who races to get to this here. And this is what we built for day 24, but I don't know, just the build seemed all over the place. I couldn't get into this model. I just could not get into it. I don't know if it's because of the time of year I was filming this, but it was just not screaming the holidays. The box was, but I don't know, the builds were just all over the place with it. It just couldn't focus in on this build. Even though this set is meant for mini dolls, you can set some of this stuff in your Lego City, like the little seesaw, the sleigh, this candle thing, maybe the fireplace. But for a micro city, this stuff would work really well. And for me personally, it's not too bad. And I forgot about her. We'll set her here. I'm being very careful. I don't want to knock all these dominoes over, but for the most part. So my final score in this set is going to be a 9 out of 10, just for the fact that there's no brick separator with this, and you're stacking a lot of plates together, which can be a bit challenging to separate. And in addition, I don't know, it just seemed like a lot of these pieces just didn't go with this set. I don't know, I just can't put my finger on it. I just could not get in the build. But for me, a flat 9 is perfect for this set. You still get your 5 mini dolls, you get plenty of accessories, this tree you could use, but for me, I just could not get in this build. But tell me what you think.